If you love eggnog, you'll love this dessert. Since I've started down this road of making vintage and old cookbook recipes, I have made a couple of eggnog pies, and I've really enjoyed them. And today's eggnog pie is probably the most modern of the ones that I have done, and comes with a little bit of a twist because it has a different crust than the others that I have done. But our recipe today comes from the Better Homes and Gardens Holiday Cookbook and Special Occasions. This is a 6 printing. This is from 1967. The original printing was in 1959, and it's got lots of different holidays in here. It's got Easter, it's got birthdays, it has Thanksgiving, it has Halloween, all sorts of different holidays. But we are making something today for Christmas, which is the Noel eggnog pie. One of the most interesting things about this pie is that the crust is not a traditional pastry crust. It's a crust that's made with coconut. And so we have 3 tablespoons of softened butter and 2.5 cups of coconut. And we're just going to combine these and then press that into a lightly buttered pie pan. That's going to go into a 300-degree oven for about 20 minutes. We took our crust out of the oven, and now we're going to make the filling as that cools. And this should be cool to the touch. It should be cool before you actually put the filling in. But I'm going to get started on this filling while I wait for that to cool. And it's a pretty simple filling that we have here. I'd simply have 1 package of lemon jello or gelatin, and we're going to put that in a bowl and combine that with a cup of hot water. Next, I'm going to take a pint of vanilla ice cream, and the recipe says to do it in 6 chunks. That seems very specific, but while this water is still hot, just put this in, and we're going to stir that until the ice cream has melted completely. I just pulled our gelatin mixture out of the fridge. It's been in there for about an hour or so, and it's jiggly. It's not firm yet, but it's jiggly. We're going to add in our remaining ingredients and then put it in the pie crust, which by this point, as you know, it's been over an hour. It's completely cool. But we have some nutmeg here. That's going to go in. We have some rum flavoring, and that is going to go in. I also have 2 egg yolks, which have been separated out from the egg whites, which I have whipped firm. But the yolks are going to go in here, and then we're going to stir this together before we fold in those egg whites. Well, it's been hours now, and I'm pretty excited about this. The recipe only has 1-2 more steps. It says to put some whipped cream on top, and then to top that with some nutmeg. Now, I'm going to be lazy and use some Cool Whip, and then we're going to top it and give this sucker a try. Not the prettiest pie I've ever seen. It did not set up the way that I wanted it to, or even the way that I thought it would. This certainly has sat long enough that the gelatin should have firmed this up, but it just did not take as far as firming up. But I think the flavors are there. I think it's going to taste good. Let's find out. There is definitely a taste of eggnog that's there, but that lemon gelatin adds just a weird kind of funky little vibe to this that is not real eggnoggy. I don't think it's bad, but it just tastes like eggnog that you squeezed a lemon into. I think I would prefer this without the lemon gelatin. And the other eggnog pies that I have made were more of like a custard than a gelatin-based pie. I think I would still prefer to go with the custard-based rather than this. However, this tastes fine. My wife, who's not a fan of pie crust, I think would prefer this just because it has the coconut crust, which really is a creative idea. I think I might try to do that coconut crust on other pies, but I also think that the coconut crust is part of why this didn't come out neatly in a nice slice either, because when I was cutting into this, it just doesn't come up as easily as a pastry pie crust would. But the taste is there, definitely tastes of the season. I don't know, you give it a try and let me know what you think. Would you do this? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you next time on Recipe Reviver.